Here we go now.
Guys, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Just making adjustments as I'm in my room here in, excuse me, Washington, D.C. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Woo, we have a lot to unpack, a lot to talk about. Thank you, Judy. Hey, Judy. Hey, Foxy. Hey, Mama Ali. What's going on, everyone? Thank you, Mama Ali. Our producers in. Look, Mary says, I'm on time. Me too, kind of, sort of. I was just taking, I'm literally remote. So I'll try. Hey, Melissa's watching on Facebook. I'm guessing is this the Potomac River? I don't know what it is. But it's beautiful. And the water is icy because it's icy here in the DMV, in DC specifically. Thank you, Cece. What's going on, everyone? Arjun says Kempire started early today. You know, Arjun, block. It is 30 degrees in Memphis, Wendy. I'm not surprised. Literally saw NOLA. They got snow. Florida got snow. New York City, we had snow earlier in the week. Last weekend, I think it was. Well, no, yeah, this last weekend. So, yeah, Detroit in the house. What's going on, Miss Bernice? Or just I was playing block. Woo, guys, how would you rate this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? You know, I'm going to be talking about Salt Lake City tonight. Taria Faison from What Else Is Going On podcast is going to be our MC tonight. I'm excited for the show. Shout out to those of you that will be here tonight at Union Stage. There's still a few more tickets left, but we're almost sold out. So if you've been wanting to come tonight, go get your tickets. If you're a member of the channel and you wanted to come, I did post something on my community tab on YouTube. So we might give away a ticket or two, but we are basically sold out. So shout out to the DMV for holding us down yet again. We appreciate you guys. I definitely will have to come back just because you guys keep showing up and showing out. So I definitely expect to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City tonight. I'm going to talk about Potomac, but I'm also going to talk about some of the hot topics that are currently going on in the world and in the news. So we're going to talk about that. I think the last time that I was here in DC, it was basically all hot topics. We barely talked about the housewives and things like that. We did, but it was mostly hot topics. So if you're new to the channel, we don't just talk about housewives here on the channel. We talk about everything in pop culture. And yesterday I did a video giving you a legal update. I'm not an attorney, but there were multiple lawsuits that came out this week from Chris Brown. Diddy is suing Courtney Burgess, aka TD Fakes. He's suing him for $50 million along with Ariel Mitchell and News Nation. We also talked about Jeannie Mai. Apparently, Jeezy and Jeannie are still at it. Okay. So if you missed it, we did post. It was a pretty long one. We also posted a podcast version of it. So be sure to check that out. All right. Don't forget to like the video, guys. Don't forget to share the video. We are doing a special Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap on a Friday as opposed to our normal Thursday. But I was traveling yesterday to come down to Washington, D.C. But I'm here. I'm comfortable in my hotel, and I'm ready to talk. I watched it again as I was shaving my head. Did I do a good job? I think the skin is skinning. The lighting is lighting. Hold on. Let me The lighting is, oh, let me not break the people's plays. Okay. All right. Yeah. MK says the genie story is just that. It's sad because they have a child. If you didn't have a child with this man, then you could probably understand, whatever. Just letting it go, not thinking about it. Now she has to co-parent with this man for the next 18 years. So, I mean, that's their life. They made those choices. I'm just here to report on them. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Nelly. Nelly says you look tasty. Thank you. All right. So let's talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I saw some of you guys gave a rating to it. I'm going to it was because the season was so stellar. I felt like part one of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion was okay. It wasn't bad, especially after I watched it a second time. I was like, okay, it wasn't bad. And I get it because they have a lot to unpack. I didn't expect them to unpack Bronwyn and Lisa so early. But I thought it was just okay. I didn't think that it was great. If I had to rate it, I'd probably give it a solid 7. I don't think that it was fantastic, especially when you had such a great season. So for me watching, I'm like, this is just okay for me. I think because we've had such a great season, I expected a lot more, But the reunion looks, we did a separate live talking about the reunion looks for those that may have missed it and have been asked, because some of you don't see everything, which I understand because the algorithm. But if you missed it, we did talk about the reunion looks for Salt Lake City. And I have to say, it's always seeing it in motion in real life that makes a difference. Like for Real Housewives of New York, seeing Jenna Lyons in the robe, look, it fell flat for me. I don't know if you guys saw the preview of the New York City reunion. Jenna Lyons in a robe looks lazy. It looked flat. It didn't look fashionable. It looked great in a photo, but in movement, in real life, it just looked like, girl, go change. Are you not going to get ready for this reunion? But I say that to say, seeing Whitney, because remember Whitney's photo was to the side. You couldn't see her dress, but seeing her come in, gorgeous. It wasn't over the top. She didn't try too hard, but she looked great. Physique looked great. Hair, makeup, the dress fit her lovely. Also Meredith Marks, we didn't love Meredith Marks' look because she had that jacket, but she came out at the beginning of the reunion without the jacket. And I love the texture of the dress. I love the cut of the dress. I loved her hair. Her hair had body to it. So sorry, Brooke Marks, we slammed you for that look, but without the jacket, it was fantastic. Without the jacket, it was fantastic. Wouldn't you agree? I love how bouncy Meredith. Look, Meredith is not used to me complimenting her. Meredith, your laugh. I was sitting here pretending. Let me work on this. No, I have to hear her do it so I can mimic it because I was in this hotel room mimicking it. Okay. Arja says, "Nah, Kempire, you dragged your Meredith last week. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. She deserved it last week. With the jacket, it's horrible. Without the jacket, she looked amazing. And her hair had body to it. She looked great. Meredith, I changed my score. 10s. I will say this, though. Lisa, your score didn't change. Simple, not trying too much. She does this all the time. It's very surface. That's who Lisa is. Very surface. Okay? Heather, same. The score doesn't change. Who else? Bronwyn, I have to say, in person, the picture, it looked great. In person, the movement of the dress still looked really great. It looked rich. It looked actually more luxurious in person, in movement. Mary Cosby still same score. Nothing changed. Angie looked great. Apparently, Angie and Brittany came with the same dress. Angie said, but I won't be returning mine. I will say the people that we thought that would bring it, at least in part one, I'm going to just emphasize this is only part one. Maybe they bring it throughout the reunion, but at least in part one, the people that we were fan faves during the season, like a Bronwyn or Angie, they kind of fell flat for me at the reunion. Kind of, at certain points. I think I expected a little bit more from them, and it kind of fell flat for me. Okay. Distinguished guest says now Brittany can return the dress. Ivy says it's just part one. Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say that? Do people hear what they want to hear? Didn't I just say it's only part one? So in part one, this is the recap of part one. Based of part one, I was sort of like, it's not giving what it's supposed to give overall as a reunion. And certain people that I thought were great during the season kind of fell flat for me during the reunion. But you guys will let me know your thoughts, but I'm telling you mine, okay? Oh, okay. The finance girl. I like that. And I love your picture. The finance, thank you so much for the super chat. Finance girl is Kempire. I just landed in DC for the show tonight. Finance girl, where are you flying from? Let me know where you're flying from. And you don't have to send a super chat for that. But thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate the support. Speaking of the super chat, Mama Allie, thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you for being a fantastic mod. Mama Allie says, no, it wasn't Kempire. During lunch scene on Peacock, they did a close-up of the dress. And Brooks and the dress looked like a pattern dress. First year design school. Shaking my head. Well, from a distance, the dress looked good to me, but apparently not to Mama Ali. Just saying. Okay, the voice is voicing today. Okay, sorry. Let me not lose my voice before this show. Maybe you're probably right, but from a distance, it looked good to me. Okay. Love Sexy, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Wait, those are $10. Let me shimmy. Okay, sorry. Let me shimmy in tonight. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you, Love Sexy. Okay. Okay. All right. Where was I? Look, I haven't even looked at my notes yet. Let me open my notes. Okay. I wrote some notes. I think Whitney looked great. Meredith's dress actually looked a lot better without the jacket. Brittany and Angie wore the same dress, apparently. And I guess and Angie shades the fact that she's going to have to return that. And she doesn't return her jewelry. Okay. Return her clothes. All right. Speaking of jewelry, though, Whitney is asked about the Alibaba and Prism same stock photo. Whitney claims that only one blogger had reported on it. I will say this, even before the season started, I heard about that story. And I don't know if it was one blogger. Maybe it's one blogger that I actually pay attention to. I don't know. But I definitely heard about the story. It's not like when we talk about Melody Cherie Rogers from Love and Marriage Huntsville, when she brought up that rumor about Maurice, had lipstick. I never heard of that rumor. But I did. Well, again, I don't follow a lot of fan pages but still, I had saw that rumor about the Alibaba of it all. Okay, Bonnie, I'll see you tonight. So I don't know. Okay. But again, bringing it to this show and this platform is a lot more, and that's exactly what Meredith and Lisa Barlow did. However, Whitney does address whether or not her stuff is sourced, her Prism jewelry is sourced from Alibaba. She denies it. She said, no, the reason why we used that photo, it's a stock photo. We don't source our stuff from Alibaba. We usually do a photo shoot for our jewelry, blah, 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 blah. And here's the thing. I haven't heard, and again, I'm not following all the pages. I haven't heard anyone buying her jewelry and actually, taking the jewelry and seeing whether or not the jewelry is cheaply made or it's not worth it. Have you guys? Have you checked it out? Maybe you have. I don't know. Okay, see, Rosanna, and that's true. We see it with Fashion Nova all the time. We see it with all these other brands all the time. Rosanna says Alibaba copies other companies. I believe Whitney on that. Yeah, I just feel like, if it wasn't any good. Look, Judy has been a member of our channel for 38 months. How many years is that? Thank you so much. And look, she's using her time to promote the show. Thank you so much, Judy. We appreciate your support. Okay. Okay. So she talks about that. To be honest with you, I'm glad they kind of got this out in part one because I really don't care about it. I'm done talking about it. I think it's ridiculous. I mean, but it's also very typical of Housewives. You know what I mean? it's one of those housewives tropes that they do. But I also have told you, and people always are like, well, it's a housewife trope. It's classic housewives. I'm over the classic housewives stuff, especially because it feels like fans are watching the show and this is what they're doing. They're coming on the show and they're doing this. I'm tired of that. And for me, it was just sort of like, okay, if it really was Alibaba jewelry, then that would be like, oh, shoot. But this really probably would affect her business. I'm sure a lot of you probably decided after this rumor came out, you're like, a helicopter. It's like real low too, y'all. It's going that way though. Where's it going? Sorry. You're going to get a lot of this during the recap, but you'll be strong. You're getting my real life experience. This is a beautiful view. I see a yacht. I see people. Hey, y'all. Anyways, back to this. Okay. Yeah, where is dinner tonight? Love Sexy says, where's dinner tonight? On the wharf, y'all? Where is there to eat? All right. My mouth is a squirrel. Kempire. All right. Let me just put this on. Promote the show. And don't forget, guys, we have the Kempire After Dark Live experience coming to New York City after that. This is our first 2025 show here in DC, and I'm glad that we could do it. Dee Dee says, can we see? No. Look, no. Also, the lighting will be ruined. You won't be able to really, you could probably see a little something. Look, that's it. That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting. All right. Oh, someone said an immigration raid. Not in DC, right? Anyways, okay. All right, let's not get dark, y'all. Let's not get dark. Let's keep it light and fun and talk about these women. So she talked about the jewelry stuff. They said only one blogger had actually posted about it. And Whitney's like, but you guys decided to bring it on this platform. And Andy says, yeah, millions of people are watching, yeah, and especially this season, and especially on Peacock. I know the live ratings don't necessarily translate for Salt Lake City, but I think a lot of people are watching it on Peacock. I think they're going to probably see record numbers. Don't be surprised if Bravo and Peacock decide to release a statement. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City broke records this season, best season of their 5 seasons. Blah 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 blah. Don't be surprised. Call me now. Just saying. Okay. Winter says, "Oh, I hate being late." It's okay, Winter. We've only been here for we've been here for a good hot second. How long have we been here? We've been here for 17 minutes. You're real late. It's okay. It's all right. So, of course, Lisa, no matter how you feel about Lisa, and I told you, I feel like everyone makes Lisa relevant. Lisa doesn't make herself relevant. Lisa's not desperately trying to have moments. It's everybody trying to have moments with Lisa. And this is coming from someone that's not a Lisa Barlow stan. But I've said this during my recaps for months and weeks now. Everyone keeps trying to make Lisa a thing, and Lisa's not trying to do that. So, but Lisa has had some moments because you remember at Angie's party, she's calling her cybersecurity. She's like, I want you to go all the way. So did they go all the way? Did they find something? They ended up finding nothing. In regards to, did Lisa have anything to do with it? Who did what? I'm so glad that after this season, we can stop talking about it, because I told you back then when it first started on the show that I didn't care about this. I feel like this was a reach. But again, what else would Whitney be talking about this season? And I'm not saying that Whitney's a bad housewife, because we saw throughout, especially in the last few episodes, how Whitney kept that ball rolling. She could have easily made amends and made peace with Lisa, but she kept her foot on Lisa's neck until the end. Even at that season finale when Lisa's like, don't point at me. And she's like this. She's such a child, but it made me giggle. Didn't it make you giggle? I was just like, Whitney, and the way that they curse at each other, Lisa and Whitney, if you watch the uncensored version on Peacock, it's it's venomous. Like, you really believe that these two do not like each other. But okay. All right. So Angie has a little bit of a moment in part 1 of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion. And she's responding to Heather. Angie and Heather are still in a good place, despite Heather throwing her under the bus when it comes to questioning Lisa Barlow as a mother. Angie says that's not what she said exactly, that Heather mixed up her words. We saw Angie's words. And honestly, watching it the first time at the reunion, well, watching it months ago, but then watching it again yesterday and then watching it again this morning, Angie, the insinuation of you calling Lisa a bad mom was there. Even I cringed, and I'm not even a mom or a dad. And I cringed at something that you said, because just picture it if the tables were reversed. Anyone that's a mom, the insinuation that you're not the best mom ever, and every mother is different. And I do believe that Lisa Barlow loves her boys, even if it's at a she loves her boys at beyond a superficial level. I think the way she presents it to us seems very surface. But I do believe that Lisa is a good mom, and good mom varies. Some other moms might look at Lisa and be like, she's not a good mom. And some moms are like, she's better than me, or she's a terrible mom. I don't want to say that about Lisa Barlow. I don't know. I don't have kids. I'm not judging Lisa Barlow on how she raises her kids. There are plenty of moms very much like Lisa Barlow, where their kids are always on their things and whatnot. And some moms need that break because they're doing other things. And I'm sure Lisa's reaction is because she has her own guilt as a mom. There are a lot of moms that talk about mom guilt because they're working and they're doing this and they're doing that, and they feel like they're not doing enough. And now this is being called out on national television by there's an airplane. I was like, wait a minute. The airplane, it's not coming it's coming in my direction, but it's going up. Let me just wait. Oh, and there's another airplane. Okay. Is that Reagan on National Airport? Is that? Oh, wow. Listen, I'm just making sure it keeps going, y'all. Okay. Oh. All right, keep going. Keep going. Just making sure it's not coming towards me. You're not far from a Reagan. That's what I figured. I'm really not far. I literally saw where it came from. And I saw where the other airplane is landing. Wow, look. This is a great view. Anyways. Nita says, yes, it's DCA. I should have flew in if it was that close. But see, that's the thing. I would land there, but then I'd probably have to take a taxi all the way around in order to get here. No, I need a helicopter to land me right here. Anyways, let's focus. Can you guys focus? Winter says, Kempire, so how are you feeling today? I feel great. I had a very good night's sleep. Okay. But yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm looking forward to tonight's show. And hopefully I won't be as distracted. Well, I won't be able to see planes and helicopters and a beautiful river in front of me. Okay. Yes, a helipad. There you go. All right, guys. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. Who called Lisa a Karen? Deborah says, not Lisa Karen Barlow. Okay. All right. Let me say thank you. Chrissy, thank you so much for the super chat. Chrissy says, thanks for watching. So I clocked out as soon as they started all that yelling. Have a good show tonight. Thank you so much, Chrissy. Well, here's the thing. I still think that it was a decent reunion. We've had a fantastic season of Salt Lake City. But yes, the over talking and the yelling is a lot. Is a lot, especially when you're trying to take notes. Lady Shep, thank you so much for the super chat. Lady Shep says, I love how things are catching your attention out the window. Squirrel, so cute. I'm just saying, because I never saw this before, and I stayed on the wharf the last time, but I didn't have this view. I didn't have this particular angle. Thank you, Lady Shep. Distracted. Okay. But yeah, so Angie talks about that, and she tried to make justifications for what she said. However, I feel as if she should have just owned it. But again, this is a reunion, so they have to kind of rehash and go through the drama. I just wish Angie would have said, because it did seem that Angie and Lisa had gotten to a better place, but then ended the season in a terrible place because of the whole circle jerk situation. I almost forgot about that because they went to the aquarium and they settled things, and then I forgot the end of the season didn't end so well for them. But I just wish Angie in that moment, especially because she is a mom, she just said to Lisa, if you felt away, no, not if you felt away, because that's a classic Housewives non-apology apology. But I apologize for making you feel that way. I apologize for saying that, or even insinuating that you're not a great mom. I think that you are a great mom. Just saying. But then it goes from Angie and Lisa to Angie. First of all, posted a tweet. These housewives in their tweets. I need them to go to Blue Sky. Anyways, let's say all that to say. Angie says that, and that's the thing. We went from Andy reading the tweet about Angie saying that Lisa has a man that pays for her lip filler. We went from that to a fight between Angie and Meredith, because Meredith says that, Angie is a backup dancer for Jen Shah. Because they did some sort of TikTok video, Jen Shah, Angie, and Monica. And Angie was harping on that. And Meredith was like, but you were a back. And she was. And she's like, yeah, we did a TikTok. And Angie tried to justify it, like, I have never been a backup dancer for anyone. Because the insinuation is that she was playing second fiddle to Jen Shah. So she felt a way about what Meredith was saying. And she didn't like the fact that Lisa Barlow said Mazel Tov. But Lisa Barlow was saying, I was saying Mazel Tov because Meredith says the only scroll that she recognizes is the Torah. So that's why Lisa was like, Mazel Tov. I just felt like Angie was reaching. She was making that more of a thing. She made herself look more insecure about being second fiddle to Jen Shah. You really are not second fiddle to Jen Shah. This is my problem with Angie and Heather. You guys are so fantastic. People love you on the show, but the insecurity, which a lot of people have insecurities. We all have our insecurities, okay? Teresa says, Angie was a backup dancer. We saw it, but she's talking about the insinuation. And I get what she means, but at the same time, I'm like, Angie, you're great. You said it to Monica last reunion. You check off all the boxes of a fantastic housewife. You have the husband, you have the daughter, you have the business, you're self-made, you have a storyline, you're quick, you know all the women, you're fashionable. You check all the boxes. And although I didn't love you saying that last season, but you do. And I wish you would stand in your greatness instead of giving that a moment. Exactly. Now she says, Angie, you were sitting next to Andy. Okay. My tribe for real says, I understood what Angie, I understand what she means. It's the insinuation that she's just a lackey of Jen Shah. I understand the insinuation of her being a backup dancer in the video. I just felt like she harped on it for too long, and it just made her look like a lackey. And Andy was sort of like, but it was some sort of TikTok video, and he didn't understand why she kept on leaning into that. Ooh, Sarah says her ego can't handle first chair. NASA says, Angie, you are that girl, but she doesn't believe it. She doesn't believe it. Nay says, nah, I'm sick of Meredith. She literally acts like she's in a courtroom all the time, which makes her actually funny to watch in some instances. Because I will say this about Meredith. She might, I mean, she does scream. Don't get me wrong. She does scream, but she's almost a little scary sometimes with how she addresses things because of how calm and collected she can be. And then go from calm and collected to, you can leave. You know what I mean? Sashay Shante, thank you so much for the super chat. Sashay Shante says, hi, Kempire. I'm from the DMV, but I'm in North Carolina now. Hate that I'm missing the second DC show. You should. But watching you leave your corporate job was so inspiring, and is why I'm 42 months a member. Wow. Have a great show tonight. Give Taria a big hug for me. Yeah, this is just Taria's good friend. Thank you so much, Sashay Shante. You have been here a long time, Sashay Shante, and I appreciate your support. And I know people want me to come to North Carolina, but first of all, traveling to DC alone, it's not even a long travel. I'm like, I was beat yesterday. Okay. But like, yeah, it's a lot. Touring is not, there's the show and prepping for the show, but there's the plotting and planning, the booking, the securing, the selling of tickets for the show. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of work, but I don't think people realize that. Monique says you got to come down to the South. We did. We were in Atlanta. We were in hot Atlanta over the summer. We were in Nashville over the summer. Just saying. Okay. Actually, Shantae says traveling to DC is a lot for me too. I understand. See, it's not even that far. It's not even that far from New York. Oh, Love Sexy says, "Can I bum rush the meet and greet? Did you not get meet and greet tickets? Love Sexy, let me know in the chat. Did you not get meet and greet tickets? I know it's a separate ticket for the meet and greet. The meet and greet is before the show. Oh, Kalam was there. Kalam says Nashville show was lit. We had a good time. We even had Music Soul Child singing in the background for us. Oh, man. Jalissa says, I live 40 minutes out and it's a lot of travel to DCC. But it's okay. But DC's still showing up. DMV is still showing up. Love Sexy, if you go to the link, there is a meet and greet link. If you check out the description, there's meet and greet links. I mean, not meet and greet link. It's the link to DC show, and it's the third option for the meet and greet. Let me know if you see it. Jessica, I want to come to Canada. And if I do come to Canada, I'm doing Toronto. Just stay tuned. Jalissa says, I'm going to be there tonight. Yes, DC. DC is showing up. All right, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. We have almost 1,000 people in the building. I am going to drop the call-in link. First, for members, we're going to take some quick calls because I still have a lot of prep to do for tonight's show. Is the live show tonight? The live show is tonight, Doja. Yep, here in DC. So I have a lot of prep that I need to do. So I cannot be here too long because I also have sound check this afternoon. I have to prep for the show tonight. So I have a lot of stuff to do. Doja said, I may just come. Yes. Let me tell you something. I know a lot of people are afraid to come with themselves to our shows, but you'll be surprised how many people buy solo tickets and they end up hanging out with people or making new friends with people at the show. I have FOMO. Come to Texas, Austin. Do I have to come to Austin though? I'm gonna feel like Ashley if I come to Austin. Okay. All right. Let me focus because we still have a lot more to talk about. And again, I have to go. Okay. So let's move on because the majority of this reunion was about Bronwyn. But before I even get into this, because at the end of this episode, the husbands come out. I had a thought yesterday when I watched the reunion, and I want to share this thought with you. The Todd father, Bronwyn's husband, is literally the Salt Lake City version, white man version of Peter Thomas. He has so many slick comments that are so shady that if you're not paying attention, you might miss them. If anything, he might be better than Peter. Well, he is better than Peter Thomas. They're locked up. They won't let him out. They won't let him. And isn't he the Peter Thomas? He is the Peter Thomas of Salt Lake City, except he knows how to run a business. So just when I thought that Todd would not allow Bronwyn to return, no, they're going to return next season, and so is the Todd father, and he is going to film. And John, hush your mouth. Who are you talking to? Okay, who are you talking to? I also thought, okay, I'm jumping around, but it's my recap. I also thought that when John was telling Todd to lower his tone, I was like, his tone seemed fine. But again, we're watching an edited show. But I was like, Todd's tone seemed fine. Now all of a sudden you want to seem like the man because he made you look like a punk when they went on that trip to Palm Springs. You look like a straight up punk. So you came in wanting to look like the man that you're coming to defend your wife. You still do not look like the man, John. And you still can't parallel park. Me either. But shut up. Look, that wasn't caught on camera. Okay. That wasn't caught on camera. All right. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. John is such a ooh, wait, I missed Jasmine. Oh wait, Jasmine says, why is it okay for Todd to defend his wife but not for John? Did we say that? I don't think there's any there's nothing wrong with John defending his wife. It's just that in that moment, based off the edit, it felt like, why are you telling him to lower his tone when I felt like his tone did not elevate? And that's the thing about the Todd father, his tone never changes. You just feel the energy of his, BDE. Oh, exactly. MK says that John wants to puff of his chest so much. Like, shut the F up. Exactly. NASA said, NASA, we talked about this. NASA says, I'm riding with Todd. All right, let me get back in, because I just had to talk about that while it was on my mind because I didn't want to forget it later. So they flash back and they go through Bronwyn's time on the show. But before that, they talk about Bronwyn and the necklace. And this is where Bronwyn loses me. I did not think that Bronwyn was going to buy the $4 million necklace. We talked about this. I said it would be amazing. I'm like, wow, that'd be, stunt on us. But I really didn't think that she was going to buy the necklace. She didn't buy the necklace. But she was caught in a lie. She was caught in a lie that she said that she bought a couple of hoop earrings. She bought this, she bought that. But only on Watch What Happens Live, she said that she ended up not buying anything. And I don't care if she decided to go on Instagram, on her Instagram story, and post any receipts or text. I don't care about any of that stuff. You said on the reunion that you had bought some loop earrings, you bought this, you bought that, only for us to come and find that you bought nothing. And y'all got Emma, and this wasn't on Bronwyn, this was on you, Lisa. You mentioned Emma's name. Emma doesn't even own the shop. Emma probably lost her job. Woo, Emma, you should have been talking anyway. See, this is the risk. This is the risk you get. You sitting there texting, I would never shop at that jewelry store. I don't care if Emma no longer works there. Oh, Kid Creddy says that Emma is fired. Emma is the person that works at the jewelry store that was texting Lisa Barlow about, well, you never, but I'm kind of glad that she did, because we wouldn't have caught Bronwyn in her lie. I mean, I'm sorry Emma had to lose her job, but rightfully so. You shouldn't have been talking all that stuff with Lisa Barlow. Lisa, you're the one who first mentioned Emma. Okay. But at the same time, here I go twerking on the fence. Bronwyn, you didn't buy anything. You didn't buy the hoop earrings. You said on Watch What Happens Live, you ended up not buying anything, but during the reunion, you said something else. And everyone was reacting. Why is Emma texting Lisa any of this information? Even Meredith was like, I would never shop there again. I would never shop there again. I don't care if Emma is fired. I'm not shopping there again. Unless you're going to give me the $4 million necklace or something. Kid Cardi says Emma wants to be a friend of next season. No, not interested. Not interested in Emma, because Emma, was it worth it for losing your job? And you never know how they're going to edit you. If anything, they probably should have. Damn, why didn't they wipe out her name? So in retrospect, maybe Lisa thought production would edit out Emma's name, and they didn't. Right? You don't, like, come on. She probably thought in her head they're going to edit out her name, and they didn't. Oh, damn, Emma. That's the risk you take, Emma. You lost your good job. She probably has been there for a long time and lost your good job because you were being messy, talking about one of your clients. And look, a lot of people do that. Okay. Kalam says, you don't do that. I've been to celebrity homes many times, and some things you just cannot disclose. Let me go get fired real quick. Who, Kalam? But that's the thing. These people in service do talk. And I've heard things from people, but I just don't disclose because you're like, well, I had this. Like, I know people. I I know. Never mind. If you're in DC, ask me what I've known, and it's Wendy Williams related. I'll talk at the show. I'm not going to talk about it here. Okay. But Bronwyn for me, well, Donna says I'll take Bronwyn over Lisa any day. Here's the thing, Bronwyn for me in that moment, she lost cool points because clearly you were caught lying. Bronwyn, you were caught lying. Special case says books flight to DC. Oh, hold on, Missy. Missy says, I am a personal assistant to a rich lady. We do not talk. And that's why you're a fantastic personal assistant. Because at the end of the day, these it's not even just about non-disclosure agreements being signed because those don't even hold weight anymore. It's more so, are you a decent human being that you're not going to talk about my stuff to random people? MO says that Emma missed the $4 million commission. Andy read the text message exchange between Lisa and Emma he said that Emma feels burned by Bronwyn. So I don't know if Bronwyn wanted to buy stuff, or I think they said that she was supposed to put a deposit down on, I guess, maybe the earrings or something, or a piece of the jewelry, and she didn't put the deposit down. But she did return the jewelry, right? They wouldn't, they're not saying that she's holding on to the jewelry, right? Bronwyn said that she doesn't have any of the pieces. Maybe Bronwyn can explain this further. I'm sure she can, but right now, based off the edit, it looks like Bronwyn lied and got caught in a lie. Okay. Bronwyn also said, because she also says that she claimed that she did buy the jewelry, and she said, well, I guess I'll post it on my socials when I get home. Only for us. I don't know the rules, because here's the thing. Let me play devil's advocate. Okay. I'm in the perfect city for it. Right now, at least. No. Let me play devil's advocate. Unless after the reunion, she decided to give it back. I don't know the rules for that, but I don't know. Do you think that she did buy it and then she's like, after finding out at the reunion, she gave it back? Donna says that Emma was less than smart. Yeah, you lost your good job. Cinnamon says, so that lady drove all the way out there for her not to buy it? Well, the other jewelry, but maybe they bought jewelry from them before in years past. Maybe they have. I don't know. But for me, based off what we saw, it just felt like, Bronwyn, you were caught in a lie. So they show Bronwyn's segment in her time on this season. I still like Bronwyn. No one's perfect. Oh, another helicopter coming this way. That's real close. Anyways. Oh, right. Allie says, it's not smart to lose a job in this economy. Right? No, Bronwyn never bought anything. I mean, based off what we've seen, because she said on Watch What Happens Live that she never bought anything. So I'm wondering if she bought something in the past. Did she ever post on her socials receipts of the jewelry that she has from this place? Just saying. Yeah, I'm staying down by the wharf. The wharf. And I see a yacht. I see a bunch of like little boats and stuff like that. It's gorgeous down here. It's a great day. It's a little cloudy, but the sun is sunning. Okay. Sarah says it's 5 different stories that make me go, liar, liar. Let me say thank you. Mama Allie, thank you so much for another super chat. Mama Allie says, in the after show, Bronwyn says that she bought a different necklace and earrings. So she did lie, or just not clarified what happened. But remember, the after show is filmed before when she was on Watch What Happens Live this week. That was filmed more recently. She said she bought nothing. So I'm looking at Bronwyn with not a lot of credibility, which makes me start to look, especially if you lie about something so small, it makes me look at other things that you've said with like the, are you telling us the whole story? Jag, thank you so much for the super chat. Jag says, I asked the jeweler on Instagram. Jag, why are you so messy? Thank you for the super chat. I asked the jeweler on Instagram if Bronwyn bought anything. Instead of responding, they blocked me. They are not happy about this exposure. Oh my God. What? Jag. Jag says, I asked the jeweler on Instagram if Bronwyn bought anything. Instead of responding, they blocked me. They are not happy about this exposure because it looks like bad business for them. They didn't have to block you, though. Why block you? Tyrese, thank you so much for the super chat. Tyrese says, it seems that Todd has warmed up to the idea of Bronwyn being a housewife, and he seemed to enjoy being on camera at the reunion. I hope they come back. Right, Tyrese? I was like, because, based off of the season, I was sort of, but this goes back to what we've said about people with money. I don't know. I don't know his pockets because there are a lot of people that come on housewife shows that pretend to have money that don't. I don't believe he's one of those people. However, even if you have money, we've seen this all the time on Housewives. Even if you have money, the glimmer of fame and attention, because he did, gain. No matter how people felt about him in his relationship with Bronwyn, people do like the Todd father. So Monique says he's a businessman and he knows what he's doing. Yeah, maybe he's about to launch something, or maybe they're about to release something. Bronwyn, isn't she producing a Broadway show or something like that? You can tell I don't keep up. Turtle, thank you so much for the super chat. Turtle says Todd father is only tolerated because he's rich. Otherwise, he would be Greg from RHOP. Greg from RHOP? Who's Greg from RHOP? You mean Greg from Real Housewives of Atlanta? Lisa loses points being defensive versus just apologizing. Lisa loses points being defensive or versus just apologizing. A lot of them could just apologize. Okay. Candace says the sales associate was messy and very unprofessional. Very. Oh, Greg. Okay. That's how much of a non-factor they are. I was like, who's Greg? Kiana's man. Are they the same person? I don't think they're the same person. I'm sorry. I don't think they're the same person. If anything, and it's not because he has money. The reason people don't like Greg is not because he's broke. We don't know if he's broke or not. He owns a nonprofit. Doesn't mean he's broke. No, it's very different energy. They're probably both very traditional and misogynistic in a lot of ways, but Todd actually gives something on camera. Maybe because he doesn't mind being on camera. Just saying. Kay was crying in the preview this week. Oh Lord. All right, let me move on. Oops, there we go. Let me get back to my notes. So we get that segment. Lisa says that she's not going to recommend any people anymore for the show. So apparently she goes through her list of the people that she recommended for the show. She had recommended Angie. Angie said, well, no, Heather recommended me first. So she apparently recommended Angie K, Angie H, a bunch of people for the show that we've seen over the years, including Bronwyn. Okay. Bronwyn apparently thought that her relationship with Lisa was a lot deeper. But for Lisa, they were only social friends. And literally, this is what Lisa says during the reunion. But Bronwyn didn't realize they were just social friends. I find that hard to believe, Bronwyn. Because you kind of, like, I do believe that certain people think that they're more to you than they realize, or less than to you than they realize. But I can't imagine that you thought that you and Lisa were deeper friends. I just can't. I would want her to kind of explain why you thought that. Were you guys hanging out all the time? Were you always on the phone all the time? I didn't see anything of that, but maybe. I did see Teresa says, say what you want about Lisa, but she's making big money for this show. You see that Carrots Taste commercial. Yeah, she is making a good amount of money from the show for that. But good for her. I mean, she is a businesswoman, so I'm not gonna knock the hustle. Anyways, so Bronwyn has that realization. Whitney talks about how she felt as if Bronwyn was ashamed of trying of claiming her publicly as a friend, and Bronwyn owns the fact that yeah, maybe I was, and because Whitney did have her back a lot during the season. Okay, um, then they get into a conversation about Heather. I know we didn't expect that because Heather's there. Heather addresses a question about her being mean since she's lost weight. And Mary Cosby, although Mary Cosby did say in the finale that Heather had changed and she had become mean, I thought it was interesting that Mary Cosby had a difference of opinion, even though she had called her mean. She did say that she does see that Heather is more self-assured. I don't think that Heather Gay became mean because she lost weight. I think Gay became mean and wanting to be friend to Lisa because of the show. I don't think it had anything to do with her weight loss. She became unbearable before she lost the weight. I think Heather always wanted to be a mean girl, but she was never accepted by the mean girls. So now that she's being accepted by the mean girls, some people might, and look, I know people that have lost weight and their personality changed, and you're like, that's interesting. But I don't think it's because she lost weight. I think Heather had always been a mean girl on the inside. I think popularity and money and this show just exposed it and heightened it. But Heather says that she's much happier now. Okay. And it isn't because she lost weight. We know. But I hope for Heather that she is happier now than she was when she first started the show. I'm hoping that she is more of a self-assured person. But Heather says, in order for her to be on this cast of women that don't look like her, it took a very self-confident person to do that. Maybe. But Mary Cosby actually comes to her defense. But I thought it was a little hypocritical of Mary Cosby because Mary Cosby literally, maybe Mary was disagreeing that it was the weight loss, but she herself had wrote the text message that said that Heather was mean. Ever since, in a difference from her from season 1 to now. But she does say Heather is more self-assured. Okay. All right, moving on because I do want to take some quick calls. I'm not going to be able to take everyone because I know a lot of you are going to want to call in. I don't even have my timer, and I wish I did because some of you still can't just express your thought and hang up. Okay. So for those that take too long, be mad at them because I won't be taking everyone today. Okay, because I have work to do. I have a show tonight here in DC. Okay. All right. Moving on, let's talk about Bronwyn, her daughter, and Lisa. So we didn't see the story happening on the show. All of a sudden that week when it came out, we were like, "What?" Bronwyn claimed, and this is why I kind of look at Bronwyn like, "Did you never show a photo of Gwen's father to anyone before? Did you purposely show it to Lisa because you did want it as a storyline?" She claims that she did not want to bring this up on camera. She claims that no one has ever seen a photo of Gwen's father, including Todd. I can believe that, but he has since seen a picture of Gwen's father, biological father. But again, she's lost some credibility with me because of some of the things that have played out in these last few episodes. However, I do believe she wanted to protect her daughter. I do believe that the family knew about Gwen during at least in the reunion. Bronwyn says that she said during the season that her father had reached out to Gwen's biological father's family to let them know, and they never returned the call. In the after show, which hurt Bronwyn a lot, Lisa brought up what the family told her allegedly. Look, and here's the thing. I know people are like, why is Lisa so involved? Well, apparently Bronwyn had asked her to make the connection because she wanted to at least give Gwen that opportunity. But in the after show, Lisa mentions that the family had thought that or heard that that Bronwyn had a miscarriage. And that hurt Bronwyn that Lisa would say that on camera. Because she was like, it's almost as if you're insinuating that I faked a miscarriage to mislead the family. That's one thing. Fine. I don't believe the family. If the family really said that to Lisa, I believe that they're lying because at the end of the day, you saw that Bronwyn has this daughter out here in these streets. Okay. I don't believe that at all. Okay. And this situation is very sensitive because at the end of the day, it deals with a child that did not sign up for this show. And I saw how disgusting this situation became on social media before the reunion. You remember all the Bronwyn fighting with a blogger on social media about this. It's a very sensitive situation. And I get Lisa's stance in regards to everyone's hurting. She knows that the family lost a child, but she also understands Bronwyn's take on it. Here's the thing, Lisa. I cringe when Lisa brought up the miscarriage story on camera because obviously it's not true, but you're still bringing it up on camera. And it's not like you had this conversation. And they show unseen footage where Bronwyn had asked production to take it out, but I guess maybe she gave them approval to put it back in. I don't know. But they show unseen footage during the reunion where Bronwyn and Lisa are talking about the situation. So, look, I don't believe the family really believed that Bronwyn had a miscarriage and they decided never to reach out to her again. I do believe the family looked at her with disgust and shame when they found out that she was pregnant. Remember, the father ended up dying shortly after Bronwyn told her that. I don't know if he died before she had given birth, but he had died very young. Okay. But like I said, it's a very sensitive situation. I just don't believe the family really believed that Bronwyn actually had a miscarriage when she has this daughter. And yeah, she wasn't on reality television then, but you're not telling me that this family did not have connections within Bronwyn's circle and had no idea that Bronwyn had a 16, 17-year-old daughter that lined up with when they found out that she had a baby. Come on. Oh, thank you, Donna. Donna says that died when Gwen was 2. So he died very, very young. Did we know that he died? I don't think we knew that he died until this became a storyline. I don't think we knew that until this became a storyline. I just don't believe the family thought that she had a miscarriage. Even if they thought she had a miscarriage back then, you're not telling me that Bronwyn having a child, she wasn't hiding the child. Her having a child that was around the age when you found out, I just don't find it. I think that the parents wanted to make themselves seem like the innocent parties. And I get why Bronwyn felt hurt by the fact that Lisa would regurgitate a lie. So I get that. Miss Esquire, thank you so much for the super chat. Shimmy. Okay, Mr. Esquire says, so many single mothers know what it's like to have a narrative spun that they are keeping a child away from their absent father and his family. Yeah, I don't believe the family really believed that Bronwyn had a miscarriage. And even if they did, they could have easily debunked that. They would have seen Bronwyn, have a child around that age. Come on. I think they want to do that and say that because I believe Bronwyn when she says, when she told them that she was pregnant, that they wanted her to get rid of it, to go hide away. It just lines up with that. We also have to remember they're Mormon. So I feel like all of that is in line with the family trying to excuse their bad behavior. And Gwen does not want to have a relationship with them. She said during the season when she did reach out to them, they basically wanted to put all of the history under a rug. So she felt uncomfortable. She felt as if she was begging them to be a part of her life. And she was just like, I'm not going to do that. So I don't believe the family. But I also understand why Bronwyn felt upset with Lisa, that Lisa would repeat that false information on the after show. Thank you, Veronique. Veronique says, as an aside, Kempire, your skin is even radiant in natural light. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, don't forget you can support the channel just by liking the video. Mods, can you let me know how many likes we have? I'm going to drop the call-in link for our members first. Let me just do that right now. And don't forget, guys, everything Kempire, including tickets for tonight's show, tickets for New York City show, will be available in the description. And also everything else Kempire will be available in the description. All right, so I'm going to drop the call-in link for members first on the community tab on YouTube. I just dropped it there. Live chat. Thank you, Crystal. Crystal is not a mod. 326. We have 1,300 people here, and we have 336 likes. Really? Let's get to 600 likes, please. Let's get to 600 likes. But if you remember the channel, we did drop the call link for you guys. So they go back and forth on this situation. And it's cringy because of what we're talking about, and it is so sensitive. So after they have this sort of back and forth, they take a lunch break. They mention, I forgot who mentioned it, was Whitney. She's like, Lisa's very emotional during the stream, because she got emotional talking about this subject and talking about the family, because she knows the family. I don't believe that Lisa knows the family on a deep level, because I don't think she has any deep relationships like that. Any of them. And that might be part of the reason why Bronwyn thought she had a deeper relationship with Lisa, because maybe Lisa is one of those people that makes you feel like you have a deep relationship, but for Lisa, it's never deep. Heather thinks that Bronwyn is running for political office with how she's trying to spin things, and she feels like she is playing for social media, which I could see. I could definitely see that. Todd is fantastic television. Todd makes a snarky remark because they talk about how, Lisa's just really out to, make friends with whoever she can get something from. And Todd says that, she could be friends with us and she can come to our jazz suite and not have to do anything for it. Did that go over your head? I hope that did not go over your head. If you were a newbie watching the show, you probably would not even understand what he was insinuating there, because you would have had to watch past seasons. Todd says, she could come to our jazz suite and not have to do anything for it. Well, tell me how you really feel, sir. What? Okay. All right. So the husbands come out. All right. So Andy introduces the husbands. Fine. Bronwyn and Todd talk about their relationship and everyone's opinion on their relationship. Look, Bronwyn says that they're closer than ever. I don't look. I'm not going to judge their relationship because, yes, they're on a reality show, and a lot of people want to act as if their life is perfect and their relationship is perfect. But I always remind you when I do my recaps, I always say, someone like Bronwyn. Someone like that, and that someone might be you. So I'm not going to sit here and judge Bronwyn in her relationship. I mean, yeah, we do judge. We do listen. We do judge. But at the same time, I'm not going to be like, girl. Well, maybe a little girl. It works for her. Do I believe it? You like it, I love it. It's not my relationship. It's not the relationship I would choose to want to be in. But I can see that Todd does have love for her. Sidebar, we did not talk about the refresh that is Bronwyn's face. Just saying. It's a refresh. And if anything, it's even tighter on Watch What Happens Live. Did you guys see it? I was like, did she get a facelift, an underlift? Who's her surgeon? It looks good. Good for her. Good for her. Okay. So Bronwyn and Todd talk about the relationships, the things that they've learned from being, watching their relationship on the show. And Todd's like, I can see how some people can also be envious of our relationship. Is anyone envious of their relationship? Me personally, no. But maybe with this cast of folks, like a Meredith and her relationship with Seth, I don't think Lisa's envious of her relationship. Lisa still gives a lot of grace to Todd. Todd has dragged Lisa, her business, multiple times, but Lisa still is like, I don't know about that. She still gives him so much grace, and I'm just like, he drags you. He drags you. But yeah. They do talk about Seth and possibly have him having a side chick somewhere else. Have we forgotten Lisa Barlow's rant? What about Meredith and her side chicks or side men in New York? Here's the thing. I don't think that they have an open relationship. I think they're staying married for the sake of her being a housewife. I told you this countless times. I don't believe this relationship. Okay? I don't believe it. All right. Let me. So Todd talks about some of the things that was brought to light could be libelous, and I said, and I was paying attention to everyone's faces, and I was just like, libelous meaning like he's thinking litigation, and it's probably about the whole Gwen stuff. And when he mentioned that he's been around Gwen since she was a young girl. Mind you, they are married 10 years. They were together, I think, a couple of years before that. Okay. And that means he's been around Gwen since she was probably like 5, 6, 7 years old. That's her dad. So I could see him being very protective. That's her dad. That's who she's grown up seeing as her father figure. Okay. So mind you, this is the end of the reunion. It gets hot towards the end when the husbands come out because Todd is expressing himself on what was said about Gwen and the biological father, and that's when John's just like, lower your tone, and he's just like, what? Mind you, I'm listening again. We're watching an edited version. For all we know, he could have. I've never seen Todd really tone go any other direction. But John said, lower your tone. I just feel like John felt like he looked like a punk during the season when he got punked by Todd. And he felt like he needed to come out guns a-blazing so he didn't look like a punk. Okay? Watch your tone. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, Raina's World says I need to watch the Peacock version because Kemp talking about stuff I didn't see. I am so sorry. I forgot. But it didn't say it was an unedited an extended version. It is 47 minutes though without commercials. So it is longer. I didn't know. Sorry, y'all. So I'm glad you clarified that. So there are things that you guys did not see. Nelson said it's not Nelson, the Virgo. But Nelson's a member. Shout out to the Virgos. Speaking of Virgos, let's get to the callers, guys. Let me get to the callers. Do I have my the opinions of the callers here? Hold on. I'm streaming from something different, y'all. So I don't. Oh wait, I do. Don't forget, guys, the opinions of the callers do not reflect the opinions of myself, our sponsors, the Kempire LLC, etc., etc. All right. Okay. Let me get to some callers. I can't be here long. So callers, please make it as quick as possible. All right. So that we can get to everyone because it's already a long line and these are just members. Okay. All right. So we're going to bring up Miss Esquire first. Miss Esquire, what did you want to share?
Kempire, you look
Hey.
great in that light. I will say I really want to talk about a lot more stuff on the reunion, but I can't help but focus on the Lisa and Bronwyn of it all. Because here's the thing, Lisa is trying to couch it like I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. I was in a lose-lose situation. Bronwyn shared her story on the show with who she thought was a friend, and she gave her the facts as she experienced them. Lisa knew from talking to Bronwyn that Bronwyn's position was that man and his family knew that I had this baby on the day I had this baby because my father called them and left a message. Lisa did not have to say anything. If she thought, okay, what Bronwyn has said is going to make these people look bad, you have a choice to be quiet and let your friends defend themselves when this comes out, or you can do what you did, which is you decide to carry their version of the story for them so that
Mm,
they have a narrative out there that gives them deniable plausibility about this baby, that makes it seem like they did not abandon this 19-year-old girl and this little baby by herself, and that they've been absent, but it's been for a very good reason. And for Lisa to be committed to not understanding how hurtful that is to
mm,
Bronwyn, and like Bronwyn was trying to tell, it doesn't matter if you don't care about me to my daughter. What Lisa doesn't understand, and a lot of people who may come from more cookie cutter family dynamics may not understand, is if that's true, if that rumor that Lisa perpetuated is true, then that means that Bronwyn has kept her other side of her family away from her via this lie. And
mm,
that would be, I mean, I can't imagine how deteriorating that would be to Bronwyn's relationship with her daughter if it were true that these people thought I was never born and you kept me away from them and didn't allow me to get to know my father in the 2 years that he was alive and didn't even get to let me know the other side of my family, who was the only way I can learn about him. That's why it's so hurtful. And for Lisa to not understand that and to still center herself and make herself the victim in that circumstance was disgusting to watch. Because, like, as a single parent of two kids whose mother is dead, my sister, and whose father and their families don't participate in their lives, I know I'm the villain somewhere in some narrative, right? I know
mm.
somewhere somebody is saying, she won't let us see our kids, blah, blah, blah. Every single mom or a lot of single moms know that. But it's a different thing to have your friend who is on a television show, has been on it, knows how TV works, to do that on a national television show
Exactly.
platform.
And she pointed that out. Timmy says, shout out
So
to
I
all
don't
our
understand what she
co-workers.
don't understand. But have a great show tonight.
Thank
Have
you,
so
Miss
much fun.
Esquire. Have a good
Bye.
night. Good afternoon. There we go.
Yeah.
Bye. All right. Joe's backstage. We're gonna bring Joe up next. Joe, what's going on?
Hey, not much. That hotel room looks familiar, Kempire. It looks like the same hotel I booked when I met with one Dixon's lookalike. Just kidding. Where am I?
Are you?
About this Lisa Barlow interference with a Gwen situation, let's not forget Lisa's done a similar thing to John, her husband. So I'd hope that she learns from both experiences. I highly doubt it, though. Um, I also didn't realize that I was watching the uncensored version on Peacock until I saw the thumbnail title change this morning. Because before
Oh,
it was just
see?
blank, and then now they actually updated the title. So
Okay.
I'm like, oh, okay. Well, um, also, I am not going to talk about your bestie podcaster being briefly mentioned on this episode. I'm just not. Um, and unfortunately, I won't be able to attend tonight's show, Kempire. I still have a lot to do today to get ready for my move to Tampa tomorrow. I did send you this screenshot of the barcode to my premiere ticket if you want to do a giveaway. But I'm sending you and everybody fun vibes. But I'm sure you guys will have a lot of shady filled and fantastic time tonight. So.
Thanks, Joe. If you know of someone, Joe, that's around that can do that, I just have too much on my plate.
Okay, will do.
But thank you so much, Joe. We appreciate you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. All right. So guys, hit up Joe if you're interested. Joe Mendoza, if you want to come to tonight's show and you want his premium ticket, you got a premium ticket, y'all. Okay. All right. Deshay says the bathtub is deeper than Lisa. Ariel, thank you so much for the super chat. Ariel says, did you already talk about how no one thought in that combo with Heather and Bronwyn that Heather was rude AF? We did not talk about that, but Heather's been rude and mean all season. But she says, it's her confidence. Mama Ellie, thank you so much for the super chat. Mama Ellie says Todd doesn't need to raise his voice. Todd father talks with great authority. John is p-whipped. Damn. Timmy, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate your support. Shout out to the Virgos. Not that Amber. Thank you so much for the super chat. She says flash floods are deeper than flash floods are deeper than Lisa. Okay. Samara, we're sending a prayer for you. She says, I believe in collective prayer. Please pray for me. I'm starting my egg freezing journey next week. Yes, everyone, let's say a little prayer for Samara. Keep us up to date, Samara. My try for reals says, if you don't want spoilers, watch Kemp afterwards. I've learned that the hard way years ago. Look, I mean, hello, it's a recap. And guess what? Last night in my hotel, I was watching, I watched episode 4, 5, I think I'm on 6 of Young, Famous, and African. Buckle up. If you missed my recap of episodes 1, 2, and 3, be sure to check that out here on our YouTube channel. Okay. And shout out to CM for becoming a new member. We appreciate you guys. All right. Again, if you want to become a new member, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. But if you're watching on YouTube, just click the join button. All right, let me get to the rest of this call. It's Nelson's backstage. Nelson, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's reunion?
Hey, Camp. Hope everything's going well. Shout out to the show tonight, and I can't wait to make it to the show in New York. I'm going back there. Yay. And shout out to my nighttime crew. I can't wait to see them because, I made friends that day, so it was really fun. So real quick, I don't know. I think the one thing, I have so many thoughts, but the one thing I guess I kind of want to touch on real quick is the Bronwyn and Lisa stuff. I don't know, as like a parent of a single child household, I was actually very I don't know, there was a lot of feelings that came from watching the whole Lisa and Bronwyn situation because I'm a male Dominican, and my mom made sure when I was growing up that she would not say anything bad about my, I don't want to say absent father. He literally lives in New York, but he just I just never saw him. But she never made it a point to say, hey, your dad is trash. She always call your dad, do this, do that. And she said, well, if you don't want to do it, that's on you. Don't say that I was the one that, was telling you not to find your dad, because it is the truth that they literally will perpetuate, oh, you didn't want to meet your other side of the family. No, it's not that I didn't want to meet them. It's that you didn't make yourself available. So I kind of felt, I don't know, there was a lot going on with that situation. So I kind of felt a lot of things with that. And I don't know why they did not touch on Heather being a mean girl. Homegirl, you know what you did in Bronwyn's house. We're not going to sit here and pretend you needed to swim. What she said about something about her supper? Nobody said you needed to do
for
all
a supper.
That. All you needed to do was just acknowledge whatever the situation was between the two of y'all, and you would have went on the trip. But she threw that little side comment I wasn't there, so I don't know anything that happened at the trip. But whatever. But yeah, that's all I had to say. Shout out to the Virgos, because I know Kempire be coming for us, but he loves us allegedly. Let me throw your words out there.
Yeah. Emphasize that allegedly. Thanks, Nelson. See you in New York.
Bye. Yes, you will.
I need security. I need security for New York, y'all. All right, let me get to the next couple of callers, guys. And yeah, we didn't really talk about Heather being a mean girl and the whole sing for her supper stuff, just because they kind of brushed over that too, and we've talked about it endlessly during when it happened. So if you missed that, we have talked about it during the season and my thoughts on it. Toy is backstage. Toy, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's reunion?
Hey, Kempire, good luck on your show tonight.
Thank you.
Come to Texas. Okay, so I feel like Andy, I know he tried, but he needs to do a better job at regulating the girls talking over each other. It's really hard to get things accomplished or, just for them to really get their voices heard if everybody's talking over each other.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he can do a better job at that some way, somehow. I know he tried to have a safe word. Maybe it's just no way of helping it with these ladies because they scream over each other a lot. With Bronwyn, I feel like she came in the beginning of the season like boss B energy, and I really felt like she could give Lisa a run for her money. But it seemed like she was just being like she was diminishing herself to keep this friendship with Lisa, but Lisa is no one's friend. Lisa is so self-absorbed. Like it's just really cringy how self-absorbed she is. And like
What
how
is
she
Lisa's
tries to, huh?
What is Lisa's sign? I can't remember now. I can't.
Oh, it might be Virgo. No.
But again, just because we know her sun sign doesn't mean that she doesn't have other things in her top three that make her the way she is, like Leo. But anyways, what you're saying, Toya?
I mean, she just tries to pretend that her life is just so perfect, 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 and she's so rich, and we have no issues, and we're just so lucky. And it's like, girl, everybody's going through something. Some of the most famous housewives have been vulnerable, and Mary's vulnerability was something that, really changed the dynamic of the show and how people feel about her.
Yep.
And, not to say that everyone will have a situation like that, but it's okay to be open and honest sometimes. I did want to say, Angie, that's my girl. The way she came in talking about I'm helping the economy. I don't return things. And then Whitney, she said, if you bring something to the camera, then you're bringing it to the public in regards to her stock photo in Alibaba.
Yep.
But you did the same thing at the dinner with the text message about Lisa's,
But that was the game.
huh?
Look, that was the game. No, she was being nice.
She did that on purpose.
Because what she read in the text message had nothing to do with what she has said personally about Lisa. She brought up something that she texted to Angie about something that someone else said.
A mess.
I didn't believe it.
A mess. But Angie, honey, was ready to fight. Like Angie, didn't Angie actually throw something at her?
She did. Flowers.
Baby, Angie, I'm going to Greece in October, girl. I'm gonna holla at you, Angie K.
She'll answer to you too if you DM her. Just saying.
Okay, y'all have a good one, everybody. A great show tonight.
Thanks, Toya. Take care. Why do I feel cold air? Anyways, all right. Let me get to guys. How many likes did we get in the live chat? For those who are watching on YouTube, let me know how many. Jackson. Opa. Okay. Let me bring up Winter next. Winter, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. How you doing?
Well, how are you?
Good. So the first thing I noticed when I saw this reunion was how basic Lisa looked. Like I was just like, really, Lisa? Really? The hair, like the dress, like I was like, wow, like she just really never brings it, but whatever. So then I was like, okay, fine. Now the whole situation with Bronwyn is like, I want to know who the real Bronwyn is. Like when you first came, I was like, wow, like she has a strong personality. I agree with what the other caller said. Like I felt like she could really go up against Lisa and give her a run for her money. But then throughout the season, I saw like these inconsistencies, like these little lies and backtracking. And it's just like, who are you? Like that is a no-no on Housewives. Like we need to know who you really are, because if I feel like I can't trust you, that's gonna be a big problem. And then like the whole jewelry stunt, like what was the whole point? Y'all sat here, put the $4 million necklace up, act like you were gonna buy it, then to backtrack, say you didn't buy nothing. It's just like,
Did you
come
really think that
on.
she was going to buy it though? I'm
I
telling you,
didn't
when I
think
saw
so.
her trying it on, I was like, I don't think she's gonna buy that. But
I didn't think so, but then don't come on the show. That didn't have to be a scene. Like it had nothing. Like I was just like, this was so stupid. Now the situation with Lisa being a bad mom, like it, Angie, you know what you were trying to insinuate, like her son being on video games. Like you should have just owned it, because it's like there was no point of trying to lie about that.
yeah,
By the way, Lisa and Meredith are a day apart, December 14th, December 15th. They're both Sagittarius. I find that weird because they're like kind of different. And Andy, he always looks burnt out. I need him to just give up the seat. Like, like,
his
I
ego
don't
won't
feel
let him.
like, yeah,
I've
like, I
heard
feel like
from
he's just not
sources.
into it no more. Like, I'm like, you don't
It's
even
that
look like
sad.
you want, yeah, like, he doesn't even look like he wants to hear the responses. Like, he
Right.
doesn't care about the answers. Yeah. So I'm just like, maybe it's time to give it up or whatever. But, besides that, Mary looked really great. Like, I was like, ooh, you know how you say, like, in live, like, it
Yeah.
looks better. I was like, look at Mary, it looks so beautiful. And she always keeps it a buck. She's like, yeah, my husband don't want to be here.
Yes.
So, and I appreciate that.
And
But yeah,
they still look. Mary has gone against every housewife rule. You
Mm-hmm.
can't, not show up for a reunion. She did not show up for a reunion. Came
Mm-hmm.
back. You have to have your husband film, or you can't be on the show. And Mary's
She's obviously important because they really brought her back. So I was
Yep.
like, okay, Mary. And the thing about Todd, I was like, I don't think he had a certain tone. I just think that he's like a little condescending. Him and
Oh, without a
Bronwyn had
doubt.
this, yeah, like they had this rich condescending thing where they're just like, they kind of talk to you like if you're a little dumb. I don't
What's
know if it comes
Todd's
with the,
sign?
I don't know. I didn't look it up.
Look, his sign is jerk.
Anyways, I'll let you go. My baby's crying.
Thanks. Oh, by the way, sir. Get to your baby. I'm gonna judge you like Angie was judging Lisa. No, I'm playing. Let me just say thank you, Brenda, for becoming a member. Thank you, Mama Ali, for the super chat. Good luck tonight, Kempire. Have a blast. We love you. Thank you so much. Cece, thank you so much for the super chat. Cece says, "Hi, Kempire. Sending love. Love from Toronto. I'm a Virgo who grew up with a Taurus mom, Taurus dad, and Taurus older brother. Watching and listening to your lives feels like I'm chatting with my family." Cece, wow. Well, you grew up with a bunch of Tauruses, so you had to be like tough. I know that. Thank you, Miss Esquire, who's a Virgo, says, so many Virgos are drawn to Kempire because we like people who are excellent at what they do, even if he gets us together sometimes. I still do love a Virgo. I do. I keep Virgos around me. I have 2 sisters that are Virgos. Okay. But yeah, shout out to all the Virgos. Joe, you have a few people hitting you up. I don't know if Joe's still in the chat that want that ticket. Let's not let that ticket go to waste. Joe gets grace from me for not coming to the show because Joe has been to 3 of the shows. He came to the DC show, he came to the New York show, and he came to the Philly show. Was it Joe? He came to 3 shows. So we appreciate you, Joe. And Jasmine says, Kempire be coming for us cancers too. Rightfully so. All right, let me take it. I'm not taking any callers. No, callers backstage. I'm taking you. But because we never hit our goal, I'm cutting it off. I'm just taking Brandy and Bianca, and then I gotta go because I gotta prepare for tonight's show. I have a sound check shortly, and my stomach is growling. All right, let me bring up Brandy. Brandy, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Oh, well, how are you?
Good. Okay, so I just wanted to first mention how I be listening to some of the other lives, but I don't call in, but you be cracking me up talking about what? I'm Espo.
Espo's Rise.
Like you are so crazy. But I was thinking the same thing, and I had said the same thing yesterday about John Barlow trying to overcompensate for when Todd punked him in Palm Springs. Because Todd was like, you and Lisa need to get y'all SH together or go home. And all he did was go to Lisa like, Todd said we better get our stuff together. We got to go home. Like,
Yep.
and
And
he
no
didn't have
word.
nothing else to say. So, and Lisa and Kyle are like the same person because they can't never understand what they did wrong. And then they just resort to all that crying. It's like, girl, sit down somewhere. And then a couple of things I was noticing too, like when Andy had told Bronwyn, oh, Rihanna's in your DMs or whatever, Heather got jealous because, Rihanna was in her DMs when she was the popular girl the first season or whatever. And also, Todd came out throwing shade at Heather, talking about people had so much to say, but they didn't even know my name. Heather has to pick her jaw up off the floor
Yep.
again. Right. Like,
Why are you
okay.
getting them together?
Yes. And then Bronwyn, I could tell she was lying when Lisa brought up the jeweler because she instantly, like, you could just tell she was lying. She tensed up and she was
I
caught
hate
off
that.
guard with that. And I do
I hate
think Lisa was fishing though, because she probably saw that scene and was like, "Oh, I know her," and probably tried to show off for somebody else. Like, let me call her right now, and fishing for
Mhm.
information. And Emma fell for it and told her all the business.
And
But
so she could bring it to the reunion.
exactly. But yeah. And the last thing I want to say is Julia Fox on Watch What Happens Live. I was
Oh
so
my God.
happy. Yeah, she looked a mess, like scary. But I was so happy when she told Bronwyn that her rose and thorn, the thorn was how Bronwyn was begging for Lisa's validation all season and throwing the other girls under the bus at times, like all to suck up to Lisa. And she was telling her how stupid she looked, and I was so glad somebody told Bronwyn that. So
Yeah.
that was all I gotta say.
That's the one good thing that Julia Fox has done. Can we be done with her though?
I just don't understand why she looked like that. Like, what is
She's
this?
always trying to have a moment. She's so desperate for attention. But let's not talk about her anymore. Thanks
Yeah,
for
yeah. Okay.
I was like, why is she even on here? And like, I know Watch What Happens Live has a hard time getting guests, but damn. All right. Last but definitely not least, shout out to those of you that were watching and wanted to call in. I have to go, but Bianca's going to be our last caller. But if you're watching the replay of this, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to check out everything in the description for our P.O. Box, our Venmo, our Cash Apps, all that. Shout out to those of you that send stuff I don't normally see because I have all my notifications off. But we appreciate your support. Shout out to everyone that sent in super chats as well. We appreciate that. But you can also support just by simply liking the video. All right. All right. Let me bring up Bianca as our last caller. Bianca, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire! I cannot believe I am on with you. I have been watching you for years, and I finally became a member. I don't know why it took me so long, so I don't know what's going on there, but I love you so much. Sometimes I just watch you just to, like, hear your voice, even if I don't watch the show. Like, you just crack me up. I love all your regular callers. Like, you guys are just like a whole community. I love it so much.
Thank you, Bianca.
But let me get to the point. So I have to start out with Meredith. Her mug was mugging. She just looked so beautiful, like just her face. I was like, whoa, Meredith.
All that hair?
Right. And I was like, for her face to look like that, her mug to look like that, Lisa should be trying to poach her glam team. I'm sorry.
Don't give Lisa ideas. You trying to cause trouble for season 6?
Yes, they need to be fighting for real. This fake alliance is annoying. But Lisa using her tears to bypass taking accountability is getting real old. I can't take it. And it's really making me not like her when, she's the annoying one on every, there's one on every franchise, but you kind of want to like her. But it's just like the tears and the not taking accountability is just like, come on. But I have to say, Bronwyn disappointed me towards the end of the season with her antics, but after listening to her reasoning and her view on their friendship, I did feel differently because I feel like if my friend brought me around her friends, and if y'all are stupid enough to talk about her in front of me, that's on y'all. Angie, Whitney, and Heather. But like, that's you guys caused that.
All of them.
Even if I'm beefing with my friend, I'm still going to run back and tell her what I said in anger, but especially everything I heard.
Especially if you think in that moment that your friendship is a lot deeper than you come to find out later that it's not.
Exactly. That's why I feel like I'm going to hold off on calling her Two-Face just because she was here as Lisa's friend. And she kept to that even in the after show. So she ended up with egg on her face, but I guess let's see where she goes from here. And then Todd, I felt like Todd needed a tone after John tried him. He should have taken a note out of Bronwyn's Blackopedia because we kind of peeped that slang usage, Bronwyn. Bring your black friend or black book on next season. And the jewelry thing to me, though, is kind of being blown up like so much. I feel like everybody lies about their money on here, except maybe Heather. She always seems to kind of make little notes that make you know that, okay, she still is very cautious with her money. She hasn't bought like the eccentric big house, excessive big house, She seems to be very conservative about it. Whitney is sketchy financially to me, and Meredith has a new house every season. I just know tax evasion lawsuits is coming for somebody here soon. But
until every season.
Right. So they're always flexing with Monopoly money across every franchise. So I just feel like this jewelry thing to me is just not that big of a deal. Like you got caught. Let's move on.
I agree. All right, Bianca, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a great day. Bye. Okay. Kimberly, what are you talking about, Kimberly? Can you please update the page Reddit link? I don't have a Reddit link. What are we referring to? It's me. MK says I told my hubby he has to buy me a membership for my birthday so I can call in. Well, we do drop the link normally for everyone at some point. Stacy says that Kempire comes for Scorpios more. And Monique says Kempire comes for Scorpios a lot. No, I don't. I do not come for the Scorpios like that. I'm sure I say things here and there, but I do not come for the Scorpios that much. Not like I come for Virgos and Cancers. Come on. Scorpios, y'all been real sensitive today. Stop. I do not. I am the product of 2 Scorpios. Y'all are doing the most Scorpios. Y'all on your Cancer mess. I even come for Pisces more than Cancers and more than Scorpios. Okay. Look, actually says a Scorpio here. I'm never offended. Exactly. Jan says, no, I think Virgos takes the cake on who Kemp goes for. Virgos, Cancers, Pisces men. Look, holistic. Like, wait, I can't keep up with the comments. Oh wait, holistic RN says that that's not true. Kempire talks more about Virgo. I can't even think of one. And Leos. Thank you, Brandy. And literally just took shade at Leos before. Yeah, come on. Okay, Paul says, well, how do you feel about Capricorn men? Not the eye emojis. I've dated that's supposed to be my ideal match as a Taurus. I can see that because I think we have a lot in common. We're both earth signs, but there's a lot of things, like weird things that I have in common. I've dated a Capricorn before. It worked, but then we're not together anymore, so it didn't work. Now y'all can fight. Replay crew, let me know who I come for more. Definitely not Scorpio. Mama Allie says, Kemp, it's my hubby's birthday. Can you give him a shout out? Mama Allie, what's his name? You could have put his name in it. Well, shout out to Mama Allie's hubby. He is a Aquarius. Wow, Mama Allie. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to anyone celebrating a birthday today as well. Happy Aquarius season. Shout out to those of you that will be joining me tonight for the Kempire After Dark live experience here in Washington, D.C. We're going to have a good time. I got to go prepare. It's 1:11, so let me go make a wish and get this done. All right. I appreciate everyone that sent in the super chat, a Venmo, a Cash App. Those of you that sent in likes, those of you that called in, we appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Discord. Well, I'll post a new Discord link, Kimberly, on the community tab for members, so you can join the Discord after this. All right. Yes. Happy birthday to Mama Allie's husband. Happy birthday to anyone celebrating a birthday. What's after? What is it? Pisces season after Aquarius? We're gonna have a time for that one. All right. Anyways, guys, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. If you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like the video. I will see you all in the next one, which probably won't be till Sunday. Espos rise. Bye.
Here we go now. Here we go.